Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Daniel, and in today's video we will go through a few key elements that I genuinely believe that you should know before you start a business. So without any further ado, let's delve straight into it. And the first element or key component that we will delve into is the customer acquisition cost. And this is a very important term for you to know. It involves the marketing and the sales expenses. So within the marketing expenses here, for example, you can put TV, radio, billboard, whatever that goes into your marketing expenses, put it at 9K. All your sales expenses, your sales team, bonuses, commissions paid, and so on. And then what you do is add the number of customers acquired in that particular time frame, and you take your total expenses, which is the 9 plus 6K, and you divide it by 1250, which is the number of customers acquired during January 2024, as an example. That gives you a CAC or customer acquisition cost of 12 USD. Now, what's key here is you know how much it costs to acquire a customer. That's really important. But how much is that customer giving you back in terms of revenue? So that is the next step you need to take. Also call for the LTV, the lifetime value, or look at it as revenue per customer. So that's something that you need to look into further. Next key element, cost of goods sold. So here I've set up a simple example for the period of February 24. Your raw material cost 15K, labor cost 6K, and the overhead cost to 4K. That gives you a total cost of manufacturing cost of 25K. Then in order to get the COGS, you also need to define the beginning and the ending inventory value. So here there's a decrease of 8K. Difference in inventory is 8K. So your total cost of goods sold is 33,000. Another key element that you need to know, keywords you need to know, is the gross margin and net margin. So your total revenue for the period of March is 75K. Your cost of goods sold for the period is 37.5. Your operating expenses is 9K, and that gives you the total expense of 46.5 thousand USD. Now your gross margin is very simple to calculate. So here the gross margin is simply the cost of goods sold divided by the total revenue. So here in this instance, you have a gross margin of 50%, and then you have to add the operating expenses in addition, and that will give you the net margin, which is in this case 38%. And this is of course extremely important to know, because if you're producing some products and it gives you a gross margin of 50%, okay, that's what you have to cover all the other overhead expenses, rent, utilities, and so on. So you have to make sure, and you have to make sure that there is enough gross margin to cover the operating expenses, and then the net margin should be high enough so that there's a profit at the end. The last one I would like to cover in this video is the gross profit and net profit. So really, using somewhat the same example, it's for the period of April. Total revenue of 75K, you have the cost of goods sold of 37.5. The operating expenses are 9K, with interest and taxes respectively 2.5 and 4K. This gives you a gross profit of 37,500. This is simply taking the 75K minus the 37.5. And to get to the net profit, we need to add the other costs. So the net profit in this example gives you $22,000. So these are four very important key elements or key components to understand when you start a business, because it gives you a much better picture of what the different financial components are that plays out a huge role in whether or not you understand how to acquire a customer, or how much you pay for a customer, what's the value of the customer, what are our margins, depending on what business that you're planning to start, and making sure that there is actually a profit at the end of the day. The last term I will not go into today in today's video. However, if you like these type of videos, let me know in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button if this is something that is valuable to you. Otherwise, if you need any additional coaching, you can go through my website synergyx.io and book a session with me there. Until next time, I hope this video gave you some value. Have a great one.